Live from historic Memorial Gym in Kokomo, Indiana. It's the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament, the third annual. Fifth place game about to unfold here in Kokomo with 5 and 4 Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles taking on the 6 and 5 South Bend Riley Wildcats. This afternoon's game is brought to us by Dan Thompson of Thompson Wealth Management. Financial advice that is custom and financial advice you can trust. Welcome in to Memorial Gym here at Kokomo. Alongside Jan Bozier, I'm Rob Brown. Happy you're spending part of your Saturday with us. We've got 3 games lined up for you this afternoon/evening, and each one kind of builds to the crescendo, yeah. Jan, and we're excited about all 3 of these.
Man, I haven't been here in a while. This is one of the historic gymnasiums in Indiana. Good to be back. I'll tell you what, I think this will be a fun game. I think South Bend will want to push if Guerin can't stop them. Guerin's a little more half court. We got a lot of youth on both these ball clubs too, Rob.
Well, 8 teams in this tournament, and South Bend and Riley, both of these teams have split their first 2 games, so they're trying to get out of here with a 2-1 record. But South Bend Riley, if you look at the first 2 games, they're the highest scoring team in the tournament. They scored 62 points in a loss to Center Grove last night, and then 81 points, which is the high water mark in this tournament so far, in the win this morning against Lures.
Yeah, South Bend, if you'll let them, that's what they want to do. They'll want to push it. They're not as good on the defensive side, but they'll sacrifice that if they can put 80 on the board.
Speaking of defense, Bobby Allen's Guerin Catholic team lost a tight one yesterday afternoon to Warren Central, 41-40. They kept that defense going in the game this morning against Columbia City, holding them to 40 and a 54-40 win.
That's a big, they played really well against a really good team. Let me tell you, I had Warren the other night against Cathedral, and they gave Cathedral everything they could handle. That's a good ball club.
Well, we're going to take a look at today's starting lineups for this 5th place game. Guerin Catholic is the road team this afternoon. And as always, today's starting lineups are brought to you by Aaron Pittman and Virtual Announcer. Make your game day experience the absolute best by hiring Aaron. And if he can't be there, he'll be your virtual announcer. And that's for any sport, not just hoops. Find out more and just how affordable it can be at Virtual Announce on social or by calling 317-800-0612. Guerin Catholic being introduced. Jack Cherry and Robert Sorensen in the backcourt. Lucas Parker, Dylan Morans, and Bryson Cardinal along the front line. Good size on that front line, 6'4", 6'7", 6'5". And Sorensen, the leading scorer at 14.3 points per game, the junior. Mentioned Guerin Catholic in the traveling purple uniforms this afternoon, gold numerals and lettering trimmed in white. Meanwhile, South Bend Riley, with 10 players dressed this afternoon, they are clad in the home whites with the dark navy numbers and lettering trimmed in gold. They will line up as follows. Peyton Baird, Caleb Francis in the front court, backcourt of Jalen Barbera, Marvin Schindler, their leading scorer. He had 20 points in the win over Lures this morning, and Manny Hill, the third guard. Coaching matchup, Bobby Allen, the veteran coach at Guerin Catholic in his 5th season there, 11th overall, includes a 5-year stint at Knightstown. Alex Daniel, a younger coach, head coach for this South Bend Riley team in his 3rd season. Still in his 20s, he's 35-24 in 3 seasons. Former assistant at Bethel University. Veteran officiating crews we'll have throughout the night. Mike Daly, our crew chief, out there with Rob Fulkerson and Shane McConaughey.
Robin, in a tournament like this, being an ex-official, they have a tendency to let you play a little more. Let's see if they do that. And if they do, that's a plus for South Bend Riley.
One other thing I want to ask you about, Jan, to see if there's an advantage as the game goes on to the fact that Guerin played the 10 o'clock game today while Riley did not tip until noon. They were on the floor until about 1:35 this afternoon.
Yeah, I used to think so, but not anymore. Listen, 16, 17, 18-year-old guys, these guys can play 4 or 5 games in a day, and they do in AAU.
Good point. Guerin Catholic wins the tip. Team's running away from their benches in this first half. Cherry's the point guard. Gives over to Sorensen. Parker, and Cardinal handles. Cherry gets screen from a Cardinal screen, killed his dribble. And hands to Morans.
Wildcats coming up in a tight man-to-man here to get things started.
They are pressuring chest to chest at the arc. Sorensen drives to the baseline, too strong with it. Cardinal snuck in, got the rebound, and stripped out of bounds. And he'll stay with Guerin Catholic. That last name is familiar, Bryson Cardinal, the son of Brian Cardinal, former Purdue standout and longtime NBA player. And his mother, Danielle, also played at Purdue and is currently the girls' coach at Guerin Catholic. Sorensen slipped as he turned the corner, but able to unload it. Now in the corner, Cardinal tries three. It's off the front of the rim. Sorensen had the rebound poke loose, but a scramble is Cherry able to knock it free, and it's turned over, thrown out of bounds.
Well, I think you have to like the way the Golden Eagles are attacking the board here early. Some youth, good experience, really good crashing the boards.
Only one player, that's Peyton Baird at 6'5", over 6'3" for this Riley team. Cardinal right down the lane, teardrop spins off, and it's grabbed by Manny Hill. All the way to the goal, and Cherry got a hand in to poke it free.
That's what the Wildcats are doing. We talked about it earlier, Rob. If you don't stop ball, they're going to the rim.
Yeah, transition defense will be a big key for Guerin Catholic this afternoon. Guerin Catholic's front line going 6'4", 6'7", 6'5". Quick three off the inbound by Schindler's over everything. And Cherry on the push the other way.
Well, Wildcats don't shoot the three a lot. They shoot around 33% as a team.
Another offensive rebound. Cherry passed up the shot, though, and tried to throw it across the paint. And Francis was there to steal it away. And he throws a pass into the Guerin Catholic bench.
Yep, a little quick. That's what they do. And at times they'll pay the price for it with their youth, just a little bit out of control. But their DNA is clearly get the ball and go if they can.
Only one senior starter for both teams. Parker, number 14 for Guerin, and Francis, number 15 for South Bend Riley. Parker turns the corner, gets to Cardinal on the screen roll, backs his man down, turnaround jump hook up and in.
Boy, that looks comfortable. I love that half hook. You don't even see veteran guys use that. If he perfects that, that's deadly.
Long three the other way is off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Parker. Cardinal got his first varsity start this morning in the Guerin Catholic win over at Columbia City.
Well, I can see why they're playing him.
Started the season on the JV team. Fadeaway shot is too strong by Morans. And end-to-end, Barbera takes it. Thought about the step back, but Cherry cut off that option.
Man, when you come to this place, you're just sitting in royalty. This place just gives me the chills. I love this place.
Three by Hill is around and out. Cherry pushing to the other end. Into the lane, all the way to the goal. Put it up, nice. Put it in, drew the foul.
Oh, really good shot, under control. And Guerin loves that half court, and they really are attacking the paint, which I thought they would do. Got to get some help side defense here. Nobody helps, and clearly just a really good shot.
Cherry, only a junior, but he's been the starting point guard since his freshman season, so he's a veteran at that point guard spot. Barbera takes the foul, his first. Cherry's free throw is up and in, kicked over the front of the rim. And Guerin off to a little 5-0 burst to start this ball game.
Yeah, good start for the Golden Eagles.
Baird, his first touch. Gives a screen to Barbera, driving kick. Schindler's three is nice. Up and in.
Great inside-outside, good spacing. He was ready to shoot.
That Schindler three looked like a Phil Necro knuckleball. Yes. It was spinning almost sideways.
Let me tell you something. If they can nail some threes in this game, that'll be a plus.
Deep catch by Cardinal, too strong with the banker. And the rebound is tapped to a teammate by Francis. Set shot three from way out. It's off the rim, but Francis flying in. Couldn't collect the putback, but he was fouled in the process, so he earns a trip to the line for two.
Major push there.
Morans takes the foul. His first and the team's first. Francis shoots two. The South Bend Riley team shoots it at 66% from the foul line. That one, first one kicks off the rim. And first subs into the game, two new faces in for Guerin Catholic. Kamea Chandler, 5'11 senior guard,
I thought they played well. Got off to a good start.
Bobby Allen will play 10 to 12 players. He goes deep into the bench. Both shots missed. Also into the game is Ty Sanders, a 6'2 senior, number 21 on your screen.
Well, Rob, you've been around this game as much as anybody. You got to have depth going down. You just never know who's available.
Spinning shot in the lane by Sorensen, their leading scorer. At 17 points and 11 rebounds against Warren yesterday. Good hard drive to the bucket by Barbera, and he answers with a score.
Barbera really showed some athleticism here early.
7-5 our score, nearing the halfway mark, first quarter. Chandler. Too much size at the rim to finish that. Baird was waiting, so he regroups with Cherry. Baseline spot up is off the rim by Sanders. And taken the other way by Hill. Takes the rebound up himself. Setting up the screen roll for Barbera. Now Barbera wants a driving lane to attack. Fading from the foul line, too strong with it. Great block out to keep Baird away by Sanders, allowing Cherry to pick up the loose change. Chandler faked the handoff, cut off on the baseline. Nice defensive play that time, knocked out of bounds, and it goes back to Riley. That was a nice play defensively that time by Hill to cut him off.
Yeah, I thought so too, and they do emphasize defense at Guerin. As their defense gets better and the young guys get mature, look out. Guerin's going to be notable.
7-5 the score. Hill against the pressure defense. His runner's too strong. And Sorensen takes it up the other way, 4-on-3. Down the lane,
nice.
sidesteps Baird, but he couldn't connect it. Baird changed his angle just slightly, and that was enough. Schindler shovels to Hill. He put it up, no. Flying in on the tip. Flying in on the tip was Francis. And then going down in a heap, kind of trailing the play was Hill.
Yeah, Hill took a hard fall.
Fortunately, Hill was able to get up to his feet.
They're going to take a look at Hill, I think, make sure he's okay. No, they're not.
Well, they had a sub at the table for Francis, but I'm going to guess because Rob Fulkerson has a concussion concern regarding Hill. Hill's going to have to come out of the game.
And I appreciate what the officials did there. He said he hit his head pretty well. He just wants him to check him out.
Yeah.
And make sure he's okay, and that's the absolute right thing to do.
So Brandon Williams, the substitute, number 5 in white, was waiting at the table, but he was going to come in for.
He goes, listen, I ain't sitting down. I'm fine.
He was athletic training staff here at Kokomo, came down and talked to him.
Yeah, absolutely good job by the officials. Players never want to come out.
Chandler all the way to the goal. They broke the pressure on the backside and got a layup from Parker.
Beautiful pass. Guerin continues, Rob, to find that paint. If they continue to do that, that's a huge plus.
Schindler fall-away shots blocked by Sorensen. And Sorensen with Schindler on his hip takes it into the forecourt.
Wildcats got to stop penetration. There's another one.
Fall-away shot by Parker is good.
Man, my shot selection is perfect if I could get shots in that blue paint all day long.
Yeah, they are getting there with ease right now, and that has to concern Alex Daniel, despite the fact his team only trails by 4. Schindler got free for a left side 3. It's off the back of the rim, and the rebound tapped out of bounds. They say Francis committed a foul on the back of his defender.
Well, if Francis goes straight up, he's okay. If he reaches over, he's going to probably get the call, and he does.
Cardinal returns for Guerin Catholic, and Manny Hill checks out. He's back in. Checks out from the concussion check, I should say. 2:06 left here in the first quarter. And Guerin Catholic has a 4-point lead. Cherry slips over to the 2-guard spot with Chandler on the floor. Waits for the screen, instead flips it over to Chandler. Chandler left hand dribbling into the paint. Draws traffic, bounce to Cardinal at the rim. Tied up on the way up, but able to stay with it. Missed the shot, and tapping toward it, taken out of there by Williams. Pass ahead, and it's knocked off the end line. Cherry touched it last.
Well, a little adjustment for Cardinal as he You know, I'm sure he's played with the varsity in practice, whatever, but what he's going to find out, if he hasn't already, that got to use your legs a little more. In the JV world, he's so tall you can lay it in. Now you really got to kind of power it a little more. It'll come to him.
Williams has it stripped in the lane. Chandler taking it 1-on-3 to the other end, and he beats the race to the rim.
How about acceleration? Man, he had a passing gear.
End-to-end for Chandler, and it's a 6-point lead for Guerin Catholic, biggest of the day. In the lane, Baird, his first shot's wildly off the backboard, and it's saved to Cherry. Cherry, stop-and-go drive, flips it up off the side of the backboard, but Cardinal's there to scoop up the loose change and lay it in.
Rob, what I like a lot about Cardinal, he just stays around the rim. A lot of big guys want to get outside, but right now he's comfortable just battling inside.
Inside a minute to go here in the first quarter. And Guerin on a little bit of a burst, an 8-0 run to be exact. Ball almost knocked free. We got a foul, though. Chandler a little too aggressive on the double team. Called for the foul.
Chandler getting after it defensively. He has absolutely been in the face type defense here in this first period.
He's given them a nice lift at both ends off the bench.
I would agree.
Dylan Moran's returns, as does Sorensen. Cherry gets his first rest of the day, as does Parker. 44 and 8/10 seconds to go, first quarter. Bobby Allen, you can hear in this echoing gym yelling at his defense to be solid. And as Jan mentioned, this Guerin Catholic team really under Bobby Allen has carved out its identity on the defensive end. So both of their opponents under 45 points in this tournament through 2 games.
What a great tournament. Man, I'm telling you, what a great facility. And get this many games in a tournament environment, this is priceless for coaches.
South Bend Riley certainly content to play for one shot. In the lane, runner up and runner in. Nice patience and a nice finish by Barbera. Still time, though, for Guerin Catholic. Cheering up the floor. Cardinal heaves it up and banks it in.
That's why you bring him up.
Bryson Cardinal tosses it in from 30 feet straight away. 7 points for the sophomore in the first quarter. And he propels Guerin Catholic to an 18-9 lead at the end of one quarter of play. Stay tuned. Second quarter next. You're watching the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is caught.
There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left. Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. Here's the finish. You get a layup to take it. And an and one. My ball. Out of here.
Well, today's game brought to us by the Hoosier Shooting Academy. Combine cutting-edge technology with old-school work ethic to make your game better at the Hoosier Shooting Academy. Go see Paul at 465 in Brookville Road and always online at HoosierShooting.net.
I like the way Guerin started, Rob. Came out, really executed in the half course, didn't force anything, and played really nose defense.
Bryson Cardinal leads all scorers. He has 7. Jack Cherry with a steal. Jalen Barbera has 4 to pace South Bend Riley. Chandler, Sorensen faked a 3 topside. Got away with a carry there. Ball swung over to Cherry. 3-guard look for Guerin Catholic to begin this period number 2. Moran's to Cherry in the corner. Sorensen jump stopping in the lane, nothing there. Moran's attacks, uses his length, but it trickled off the rim. There's Cardinal again with the left hand.
They just saved him for today? He looked pretty good to me. Wow, getting after it. The big guy.
Are we 2 field goals away from you asking where he's been? Why hasn't he been starting sooner?
Wow. But you know what? Sometimes, you get your shot and there's a certain amount of adrenaline. He's taking advantage of it.
Long 3 spins off by Williams. And Chandler on the push the other end as the lead is double figures for Guerin Catholic. Attacking to the rim and
nice
finishing is Moran's.
Moran's got some length to him, Rob, and not afraid to go to the hoop.
It's a 13-2 run, making a 14-2 run.
Man, Guerin's really playing well.
For Guerin Catholic. And the ball is thrown away. Ian Bowles, who's into the contest, can't save it. Now South Bend Riley showing some full court pressure to see if they can't maybe change the momentum, change the tempo.
Yeah, I think it's
in their
good.
favor.
I think when anytime you're really fall behind, you got to mix it up a little bit, and they got to create maybe some offense out of their defense. I like the move.
Cardinal brings it up the sideline against Bowles. Here comes the trap. Passes out of it to Chandler. Shovel in the paint to Cherry.
Pretty
Across
pass.
the paint to Sorensen and one.
Man, just so unselfish. There were a couple of shots there, but that's a smart team when you see if you can improve your shot. Take a look here. There may have been a shot there, but boy, the tough pass, he was able to get it.
Fouls on Schindler, his first, team's third. Boy, how many possessions have we seen already, Jan, where Guerin has had 4 or 5 guys touch the ball on a possession? Sorensen's free throw is missed. And the lead holds at 15, 24-9, but this is a 6-0 burst to start the quarter, piggybacking on an 11-2 run to end the first. Hill cut off on a drive by Moran's, but he couldn't move the feet quick enough and called for the bump.
I think that South Bend Riley has shown us that they can do some things inside. Now, Guerin's defense has been solid. I think you got to find a little more ball reversal, just a tad more patience, and see if they can exploit inside a little bit. They got athleticism, Rob, if they can get inside.
Moran's picking up his second personal, has a seat. And Ty Sanders returns. And we got a moving screen on the inbounds called against Brandon Williams of South Bend Riley. His first and the team's fourth. Now some one-on-one pressure. Here comes the trap. Chandler, diagonal pass to Sorensen. Lobs it in. Well, he was kind of in no man's land there. Got his own rebound, and I think he got bailed out by the foul there. Not the call, but the error by South Bend Washington.
Yeah, I think he was trying to give the head nod to Cardinal to give him a little bit of an alley-oop, and then got it a little bit in no man's land, wasn't able to get it as high as he needed to.
It's almost like he realized that Cardinal wasn't looking, so he had to try and direct it toward the rim. Fouls on Keyshawn Wright just into the game, number 4, who's pressuring the basketball. Cardinal backing in, turning, shooting, and he got it to go.
I'm not going to say it.
Bryson Cardinal has 11, and he looks fantastic.
Yes, and I can hear all the Purdue fans going, oh, man.
Yep.
What can't, he's just sophomore fans.
Yep.
Relax.
Just be patient. 26-9, our score. Williams out between the circles. 3 behind the screen is long and rebounded by Chandler. Chandler up the floor in a hurry, waiting for reinforcements. Nice bounce on the baseline. Good collection dribble, but the reverse layup is no good. Sanders kind of lost his bearings there on the baseline.
Right ideal.
Keyshawn Wright had 8 points in the Lutheran game. Jumper out straight away is blocked by Cardinal. Rebounded by Cherry. Hit ahead to Chandler. Through the lane. Has to shoot the fade away as he picked up his dribble, and the shot couldn't find the mark. Bowles through the midcourt traffic, put it behind his back, and Cherry poked it free. Bobby Allen puts the hands up and said, let's slow down here.
Yeah, they're much more efficient in their half court. They'll take a transition when they can get it, but their bread and butter is to work it in the half court.
Sanders holds high right. Tried to post Cherry up, and it's stolen away. Wright with a pass ahead, and a save between the leg by Hill. Might have been a foul there at the other end. Here comes Cherry
Nice.
to Sorensen, and he's fouled.
Beautiful no-look pass.
At the rim by Barbera.
You know, I don't know all the details, you know, with Cardinal, but you get it. You know, you have a father that's well-known, played the NBA, you know, but you want to keep some of the pressure off. He's a young guy. Give him his turn. Get him acclimated. So, I don't know if that's the case, but if it is, I certainly would understand it.
Well, let's also not forget that Bryson Cardinal's mother was a multiple-year starter at Purdue on the women's team.
So there's a lot of expectation. So
no question.
As a coach, you want to curtail that a little bit and let him be his own guy and just get in there. And clearly, this is a good time.
Sorensen hits the first free throw. It's a 9-0 run to start this second quarter for Guerin Catholic, and the lead is 18. Make it 19.
They have played well. This has been a very efficient first half for Guerin Catholic, and not very many turnovers the key. Only had one in the first period.
Yep. Williams a long three. That's off the back of the rim, but Wright's got the rebound. And he draws a foul on Chandler, I believe. Second foul on Chandler. Fourth on the Golden Eagles here in the half.
Wow. Wildcats have not scored yet in this second period. They got to find some offense here, Rob.
Ben Grissom stepping in. First time we've seen him today, the 5'11 junior, as Chandler takes a seat. But Chandler gave them some nice minutes.
Yes, he did.
Off the bench. The senior on the inbound is poked away. Sorensen got a hand on it, and the loose ball ricocheted to Cardinal. Up the floor, Sorensen. Into the lane, cut off. Now Guerin gets into their set. Cardinal posting, quick dribble, quick flip, and he couldn't get the roll as it spun off the rim.
Yeah, I'd like to see the glass there, but still a good shot.
Barbera up the floor in a hurry, stop and go, dribble to the corner. Quick three out front by Williams, spins off, rebounded by Cherry.
And the key right now, Guerin's controlling the boards. Very little second shots for the Wildcats.
Sorensen. Out top to Grissom. Cardinal posting, wheeling, flipping. Got his own rebound, put it up too strong. Stayed with it, and saved by Grissom. Nice pass to a cutting Sorensen, and he's fouled at the rim.
Listen, you heard him talk, the coaches yell inside, outside. Corey was there, but I love the big guy battling, man. That's where you learn. You absolutely learn by just getting in there and getting after it. I like it. I like his energy towards the rim.
Foul is on Francis, his second, team seventh. Sorensen was in the act of shooting, though, so he shoots two regardless.
You know, the more efficient he becomes inside, Rob, that's going to really open up that outside even more.
Sorensen's free throw is good. South Bend Riley still looking for its first point in this second quarter. As Ty Sanders returns, Bryson Cardinal takes a seat. He has 11 points to lead all scorers. Sorensen one more. That one's in and out. Rebounded by Francis. 20-point lead. Hill in the lane. Swings it over to Barbera. Got to the rim. Too strong with it. Put back by Baird is no good.
A good shot, though. You'll take that shot any day. They got to finish at the rim.
Sorensen leaves for Cherry. Cherry gets a high screen. Leaves it back over to Grissom. Fires down on the baseline to Sanders. Sorensen resets from the right side. Into the lane. Killed the dribble.
Guerin's always moving. Always moving. I love to see ball clubs in the half court that move, not stand. They were always moving.
Sorensen's open for a three.
Good
Rounded
shot.
out. Good block out by Baird to take it the other way.
That's a good three in the offense.
Barbera backs it out. Hill holds between the circles. It's an 11-0 advantage here in the quarter. Three is up and three is in.
There you
First
go.
points of the quarter for South Bend Riley. Barbera's three stops the run, and a full timeout called by South Bend Riley. We'll go ahead and stay right here. We'll stay right here with 1:51 to go in the half and a 29-12 score in favor of Guerin Catholic. Today's game is brought to us by Scott Young of Midwest Financial. Scott Young offers a wide range of products and services that can help clients get the stability needed to face life surprises. Scott will work in sync with his clients to uncover their financial goals, review the state of their financial health, and identify strategies to guide them up and down the financial mountain. Email Scott at syoung@onemidwestfp.com. Today's game also brought to us by ADP and Anthony Bennett. Did you know that ADP pays 1 in 6 Americans? And did you know that if you mention ISC, you can get the full range of ADP services free for 3 months? That's right, ISC and ADP have partnered to help your small business, and it's free for 3. Call Anthony Bennett at 317-427-8249 or email Anthony Bennett at adp.com and mention ISC. So this is a 11-3 advantage in favor of Guerin Catholic here in the quarter. Over the final 3 minutes of the first quarter, Guerin Catholic outscored South Bend Riley 11-2. So this is a 22-4 or 22-5 run.
Well, the thing about it is it's not so much the Wildcats have had bad shots. They haven't had very many of them. I mean, the defense of Guerin has completely controlled what they've been able to produce offensively.
Pressure out of the timeout applied by South Bend Riley, the Golden Eagles break. Cherry, left-hand dribbling. The runner's way too strong. Rebound is tapped out. Leaking out is Baird. He's ahead of the field, and he throws it down with 2 hands.
Baird, the sophomore, getting elevated. I like it.
Offense off the defense, and you
like
mentioned, Jan, that's what South Bend Riley's going to have to do to get back in this game.
Exactly right, Rob. They got to turn their defense into offense. Well said.
Grissom back out to Cherry. 1:15 left in the half. Back cut to Sorensen, lays it up and in.
The oldest playing the book. Quick cut up front, back door. Well executed. Man, I like their offense.
Sorensen has 7 in the quarter, 9 in the game. Came in Golden Eagles leading scorer at 14 a game. Down the baseline, Schindler double clutches and scores. Oh my, that was a double pump.
Yes, sir.
12-footer on the baseline from the leading scorer for the Wildcats.
Another sophomore. This is an exciting group of young guys for the Wildcats.
31-16. Final 40 seconds. Guerin Catholic has a foul to give. South Bend Riley's out of fouls. Sorensen surveys. Pressured by Schindler. Over to Parker. Now Cherry holds at the high right, glances at the clock. Hill is up to initiate the count. Now backs away. Sorensen against Schindler with 11. Still working top of the key, now into the lane, and he traveled.
Yep, absolutely. Great call by the official. He's 1,000% correct. Shifted his feet. Absolutely. It's a tough call sometimes because it happens so quick, and if your eyes as an official are up, not down, you don't see it. Well called. Great call.
So 5 seconds to work with, and it's knocked out of bounds.
Coaches never like it, but it's the right call.
They do not. They do not. And credit to Schindler for some one-on-one defense because you
that
Sorensen's going to take the last shot.
Yeah, well said, and he was right in his face.
So 4 seconds to work with. Schindler on the run into the forecourt, has time to tee up a double pump 3 that's off the back of the rim. And that will do it. So in the quarter, Guerin Catholic outscoring South Bend Riley 13-7 to take a 15-point lead, 31-16, into the halftime break. Stay with us. We'll step out for a brief pause. When we come back, halftime activities are next. You're watching Indiana High School basketball on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa, my goodness. 122-6-0 for Penn.
What a swim! Six of them.
Shot at the buzzer. She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot! Brady, hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello.
There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Has it, leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges.
Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. So that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
McCulling in time. Oh, no. It's good.
This one is
Yeah,
caught.
there you
Oh,
go.
wow. Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That in the air. Rustler. Rustler.
Whoa!
Rob Brown, Jan Bozier back at historic Memorial Gymnasium in Kokomo, Indiana. The third annual Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. Fifth place game. Guerin Catholic leading South Bend Riley 31-16. Jan, as we kind of browse through these stats, what, as an overview, what stands out for you in that first half?
Well, the big one for the Wildcats, turnovers. They had 9 there in the first half, and that certainly hurt them. You have to also look at turnovers for Guerin. They only had 3, so that's a big difference. When you turn it all over 3, your opponent does 9. But one of the other ones for the Wildcats is their three-point shooting. They're 2 of 12, just 17%. So not real efficient from outside. So they got to, what we talked about in that first half, they got to find the paint some more. You off the dribble drive. But really, overall, I thought Guerin's defense was really solid, super efficient on the offensive half court.
Guerin Catholic led by as much as 20 in that first half. The lead is 15 here at the break. We're going to go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we'll have more from Memorial Gym in Kokomo as you're watching Indiana High School basketball on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left. Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. That's the finish. You get a layup to take it. And an and one. Out of here. Brewer Jim's at home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman. Whoa. My goodness. 122-6-0 for Penn.
What a swim. 6 of them.
Back at Memorial Gym on the camp in downtown Kokomo. 31-16 our score in this fifth place game of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. Today's game is brought to us by Family Source Insurance, presented in part by Pat Cherry and Family Source Insurance. There's value in independence, and that applies to your insurance agent as well. Family Source Insurance works with 8 different brands to ensure you get the best rates, period. 2 great locations to serve you in Greenfield on the south side, and always available online at FamilySourceInsurance.com. Today's game also brought to us by Coca-Cola of Kokomo. The Phil Cox Memorial Tourney is presented by Coca-Cola of Kokomo. Coca-Cola of Kokomo has been your Coca-Cola bottler since 1907 and serves 25 high schools across north central Indiana, including the Kokomo Wildcats. Find out more at cckokomo.com. Well, Jan, as we wind through this halftime, South Bend Riley with a little bit of a push to close out the half, outscoring Guerin Catholic 7-2 to close it. But what sorts of adjustments might we see from Alex Daniel and his club here in the second half?
Well, I think the main thing is what we talked about, being a little more patient on defense. They want to run. They just feel like a firecracker that's lit that wants to explode, and if they can take off, they probably will. Guerin has done a really good job of not allowing that transition game to really get started. At times, the Wildcats have had that. You pointed out a really good stat that I didn't see, though. turnovers got to slow down because Guerin's really taking advantage of those turnovers and turning them into points.
Yeah, 12-0, the points off turnover advantage to Guerin Catholic, and that kind of advantage leaps off the page in a 15-point game. We're going to take our final break here at halftime. We come back, we'll take you up to the start of the third quarter. Guerin Catholic leads South Bend Riley 31-16. We're back in a moment on the IHSAA Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Shot at the buzzer. Got it! She got it! Oh, my goodness, what a shot!
Hello.
Did it again.
Hello.
Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow. This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Has it, leaps the man, still on his feet. Stevens lunges.
Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
And alongside Jan Bozier, Rob Brown with you at Memorial Gym in Kokomo, Indiana, heart of Howard County, north central Indiana. This is the first of three for us. Right around 6 o'clock, we'll have the third place game pitting two former, and I underline the word former, MIC foes, Center Grove and Warren Central. And then the championship game tonight, tipping around 8 o'clock, will pit Kokomo against Brownsburg, two of the top 6 teams in the state in Class 4A. Taking a look at some highlights from that first half. We talked about Bryson Cardinal getting just his second career start, the sophomore. Jan, he was very impressive.
Yeah,
in
he
that first
stayed
half.
around the rim and is very effective. What I like about him, if you watch him, even for a young guy, for the most part, he keeps the ball high, and that's a big thing for a young guy to do.
See a couple nice finishing moves by number 14, Lucas Parker. And there's Cardinal again with his eyes up on the rim.
And he's getting a lot of looks here, and this is great experience. Now, as he gets to play against bigger guys, as we talked about, need to use those legs a little bit, but he's a really solid IQ guy.
There's that great Princeton back cut, and there's Cardinal's 35-foot heave that he tossed in to end the first quarter. You can see his teammate Kamea Chandler incredulous that that one went in. So 31-16 our score. Both teams out on the floor getting set for this second half. When we have a moment, we'll remind you that today's game is brought to us by Dan Thompson of Thompson Wealth Management. The Thompson Wealth Management Group of RBC. Financial security begins by building a plan you can trust. Dan and his team provide custom advice for your individual needs and goals. No matter where you are in life, you can depend on their independence and expertise. Call Dan Thompson today at 317-810-5414 or visit thompsonwmg.com to set up your complimentary consultation. And Dan Thompson of Thompson Wealth Management will sponsor our player of the game that we'll hand out in the postgame.
You know, so far this year, Guerin's margin of error, they've been averaging about 53 offensively, 52 defensively. Now with Cardinal in, maybe that'll help bring that margin of error up a little bit. And, boy, their defense, I thought today, you look at 16 points for a team that scored, 80 this morning? That's pretty good defense by Guerin.
Well, and one of the things maybe that South Bend Riley has to make an adjustment to, the way Guerin plays in terms of their pace offensively, there just aren't as many possessions in a Guerin game as a game that South Bend Riley is used to playing that goes up and down. They want to score in the 70s.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about there in that first half. Just not a lot of shots. That's uncommon to them. So they have to figure out a way. This is good experience to play against a team that really controls the pace, really tough inside, and you as a team who likes to really push it, got to figure out some offense in a more unique type style game.
Well, Guerin Catholic has the basketball to start the second half, moving left to right across your screen toward its bench.
If you're going to transition, you got to rebound. I've always talked about that, and clearly Guerin has did a pretty good job on the board. So if the Wildcats are going to find the transition game, they got to get a little stronger on the boards.
Original starters on the floor for both teams. Cherry hands to Sorensen to begin this second half. And Sorensen not going anywhere. I was wondering if he was going to pick up on it, but
It's absolutely the right call.
Shane McConaughey was very demonstrative with his count.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was right in front of the bench.
The only problem with that is it's not consistent through referees. That's where it gets itself in trouble. But the rule is 5 feet, and you have 5 seconds to get rid of the ball. He was correct.
By that, do you mean in terms of when they start the count?
Yeah, when they start the count, yeah. Absolutely. And the only problem is it's just not consistent. A lot of officials won't call it, but that's the rule, and they should.
Riley misses a couple shots at the rim, and Cherry finally comes away with the defensive rebound.
So when it's not called 2 or 3 games, the coach kind of forgets about it. Then when it's called, to go, wait a minute, I haven't seen that in a while.
Good attack to the rim by Lucas Parker, and he earns a trip to the line.
I guarantee you this officiating crew will. It's a very veteran crew. They know it. They call it the game the way it's supposed to be called.
Manny Hill with the foul, his first. Lucas Parker, just 2 out of 2 this year, so not a lot of opportunities for him from the foul line.
Not to beat a dead horse there, but if the defender's within 6 feet, you have to get rid of that ball within 5 seconds or it's a violation. That's the rule.
Parker connects. Guerin Catholic 5 out of 7 from the line so far today. South Bend Riley 0 for 2.
Now he can back away and get farther away, and the count has to restart.
Right, and sometimes you see that. The officials put
that.
both arms out.
That's that call. When he stretches the arms, he starts the count over.
Baird dribble handoff to Schindler. Barbera through the lane, and he's tied up. But the arrow keeps it at the South Bend Riley end.
You know, for being such a young team, Guerin does a good job of help side defense. They're well coached. They're getting help on both sides, and that's what's been difficult for the Wildcats. They've had some paint penetration, but Guerin's did a really good job of getting help side defense.
Catch out to Baird. Hill looks it over. Left side Barbera, no space to drive. Hill tees up the 3. That's short and rebounded by Cherry. Cherry, very good rebounding guard, averaging over 4 a game. He works against Barbera's pressure.
Oh, look
and
out.
Foul. Baird and Cardinal
got a little tangled there.
Set up the jockey for position. Baird takes the foul. His first and the team's second.
Good officiating again. You always want to try to help young people. If they don't understand what they did, I like it. Great job, man.
Cherry baseline right. And a nice anticipation and steal by Hill. It's a race to the other end, and he missed the dunk.
Well, I get it, but they need points. You don't get extra style. I love the slam as well as anybody, but they need the points. Got to make sure you get that.
Cherry on the far side, and timeout called by Bobby Allen. 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. We'll keep it here with 6:21 to go in the third. Guerin Catholic thus far scored the only 2 points of this third quarter. Today's game brought to us by Scott Young of One Midwest Financial. Scott Young offers a wide range of products and services that can help clients get the stability needed to face life surprises. Scott will work in sync with his clients to uncover their financial goals, review the state of their financial health, and identify strategies to guide them up and down the financial mountain. Email Scott at syoung@onemidwestfp.com.
You know, you asked me early on about playing as quick as South Bend has. Ordinarily, I don't think it matters, but these are young guys, and they do look a little tired. I didn't think they would. Just a little step slow, and perhaps because of the pace of the type of game, too. Remember, it was up and down, and they put on 80, so the type of game has an effect as well.
Well, and we didn't pick up on this at halftime, but you could maybe tie that back to the three-point shooting.
True.
And the tired legs and the fact they're 2 for 14 right now.
That's a great point. The legs, when you start being a little short, it's usually the tired legs. Well said.
Cherry on the give and go, attacks to the rim, couldn't get the roll, and the rebound tapped out to the wing, scooped up by Baird. Defender in pursuit, nice hustle from the backside to knock it out that time by Morans. During that timeout, Brandon Williams, number 5 for the Wildcats, stepped in. Quick catch and shoot 3, blocked by Cherry, or by Sorensen rather.
Guerin's got some length. They make it, on top of being really defensive-minded, and we're going to get a foul here. And they're going to call, I think, Guerin for a hook.
Oh, wow. I thought they were going to call, and I think the Guerin bench did as well, that call was going to be on Brandon Williams.
Well, he used the off arm, and that's what the official said. Anytime you use that back arm to try to get an advantage, a lot of times you'll get that call.
Well, that's the 6'7" Morans tangling with the 5'10" Williams.
Yeah.
And Morans picks up his third foul.
You can use that off arm, but not enough to get an advantage by hooking. Official just thought it was too much.
Schindler holds. Hands to Barbera. Baird. Schindler attacks to the baseline, swinging the corner. Extra pass to Williams for a contested three that's short. That was on line but short, but Baird with a nice hustle to keep the possession for South Bend Riley.
Good pressure by Guerin. They've pressured all game long, Rob.
Schindler drives, hangs, couldn't find the rim, but drew the foul on the way. I think Rob Fulkerson's going to give him a shooting foul, though. Yep.
Well, he was patient. We talked about needing a little more patience in his offense, and he's a young man, I think, as he continues to progress, can do some things in the paint. One of the really good sophomores. He's got some quickness. If they're patient, he can get that dribble drive.
First free throw, no good. He had 17 points last night against Center Grove, and then 20 this morning
he's a
against Fort Wayne Lures.
Great-looking young man, really super quick, but they got to get some ball reversal to give him a shot to get in the paint.
Yeah, he hasn't had many clean open looks tonight.
Call. Yep.
Splits the pair. 33-17 the score. All the way. Cherry drops it at the doorstep to Cardinal, who lays it in.
I say it every telecast. Been doing this like you a bazillion years, and nothing I like better than a great pass.
We mentioned at the top that Cherry, only a junior, but he's been a starter since his freshman year, so he's a veteran at this point in the game. Three by Baird is short.
See, just the front of the rim.
One-hand rebound by Parker. Sorensen, no space to attack. Quick kick out three by Morans is good.
But he started inside, Rob, and made a quick cut outside to get the ball, and the defense didn't follow him. He was wide open.
Just the second three of the game for Guerin Catholic. They average 5 a game. To the baseline, Schindler couldn't get the friendly roll, but a nice attack. Baird kept it alive. Now in the paint with nothing to do is Francis, and Guerin Catholic fouled him and got him out of trouble. He was about to turn it over.
Boy, Schindler just does everything except was able to finish. Once again, I like that part of the offense. I got to think they're going to need a little more of that as the season progresses. He's a young man that can put 20 up every night.
Well, Moran's picked up his 4th foul, so he has a seat. On the quick inbound, Guerin Catholic fell asleep, and they made him pay as Barbera attacks to the rim and scores. He has 9.
Another quick young man. Made it look easy.
A couple sophomores leading the way, scoring-wise, for this Riley team.
And that's so promising.
Sanders, who came in the game, as did Chandler. Chandler with the basketball. Some nice minutes off the bench in the first half. Good bounce on the drop on the baseline, but the shot is missed as I think Baird got a piece of it. He comes the other way. Had it knocked free, but able to steal it back. Now in the scramble, let's see if South Bend Riley can get something going here. Guerin Catholic able to recover defensively in the half court. Long three is put up and banked in. Oh my, by Barbera.
Off the glass.
Barbera with 5 straight. And it's back to a 16-point game.
You know, that's right, Rob. That's what we talk about so often about when you get off of a good start, a lot of times the opponent will respond, but when you dig yourself a hole, sometimes hard to get out of.
That was a good hard drive to the rim and finish by Sorensen. Williams fakes 3. Now Baird tries a 3 out front that's wide left. Rebound knocked to the floor, though, scooped up by Schindler. Baird tries another one from the corner. This one's good.
Bingo.
So South Bend Riley has hit 2 of their last 3 threes after hitting just 2 in the first 2 quarters. And it's what was once a 21-point lead, as Guerin Catholic calls a full timeout, is down to 15.
Well, you talk about Bear. He's a 42% shooter from behind the arc.
So we'll go ahead and stay right here with 3:01 to go in the quarter, and Guerin Catholic leading 40-25. Today's game brought to us by Pat Cherry and Family Source Insurance. There's value in independence, and that applies to your insurance as well. Family Source Insurance works with 8 different brands to ensure you get the best rates, period. 2 great locations to serve you in Greenwood and on the south side of Indianapolis, and always available online at FamilySourceInsurance.com. Today's game also brought to us by Coca-Cola of Kokomo, the Phil Cox Memorial Tournament presented by Coca-Cola of Kokomo. Coca-Cola of Kokomo has been your local Coca-Cola bottler since 1907 and serves 25 high schools across north central Indiana, including the Kokomo Wildcats. Find out more at cckokomo.com. A little bit of a burst for South Bend Riley. 8 of the last 10 points scored.
Yeah, it's really good to see. They found some range outside. We talked about the different percentages. Boy, a young man shoots, although he hasn't shot a lot of them, still a good 42% percentage behind that arc.
That last time out, I was incorrect, was credited to South Bend Riley. So the Wildcats have 3 timeouts remaining. Guerin Catholic 4. Of course, our guy Vince Morellis was all over it. He had it right on the graphic, which is all that matters.
That's right.
New face into the game for Guerin Catholic. Julian Melendez, had the rebound momentarily and then had it knocked away. Number 25 on your screen, Melendez. A bucket here can make it a 13 or a 12-point game.
Let's see if they can make it interesting here. Like to see it get down to that magical 10 if they can.
Schindler attacks, missed the shot, got his own rebound, and got fouled. Stayed with it. And drew the foul.
Well, and the difference now is what Guerin just dominated those second chance in the first half. All of a sudden, Wildcats are attacking the glass a little more.
And it seems like there's some driving angles there that weren't there in the first half for South Bend Riley. Baseline inbounding is Francis. Schindler out front, attacking against Sorensen, raises and shoots off the front of the rim. And Sorensen brings it the other way to Cherry. 2:15 left in the third quarter. Guerin Catholic has led throughout. We had a tie at 7-7 midway in the first quarter. That's as close as South Bend Riley has been to the lead. Chandler shovels to Cardinal, who's back into the game. Hands to Chandler. Sorensen. Killed the dribble, left side over to Chandler. Melendez turns and shoots and scores.
Yes, sir.
And put him on the line.
And I like it because he didn't put it on the floor. A big mistake a lot of big guys make is put that thing on the floor. When you do that, then you allow the defense to collapse on you. You had the ball, had a great step, and just put it right up off the glass. Exactly what you want to do.
Fouls on Francis, his third. And they just make it, they being Guerin Catholic, just make it so difficult, force you to guard for 30 to 35 seconds.
Nobody likes to play defense very long, and they make you play it for a while, and that wears you down.
You get one slip in an attention to detail scenario, and the Golden Eagles make you pay.
Yeah, because they're so crisp with their offense. On top of it, it's one thing to make you play a lot of defense, another to have great spacing, moving all the time. And the key, moving all the time, will cause a defense that elapses to open up a seam somewhere.
Melendez just into the game with a 3-point play off the bench. And the lead back to 18. Keyshawn Wright is in, handling the point for South Bend Riley. Williams thought about a 3. Now Baird works baseline, cut off by Cardinal.
Wildcats got to find a run, Rob. They got another period, but they got to start finding a run here before too long.
Wright got to the rim but couldn't finish. Just too much size in there. And Cherry walks it up. Guerin Catholic can afford to be deliberate with this 18-point lead. Melendez flashes to the block, turns, and couldn't get the roll.
Well, the pass was a little low, and he had to go down and change his whole stance to get the ball.
Down the baseline, Circus reverse layup is missed, but Bowles has the putback, and he's fouled. Missed the shot, but the scramble by Manny Hill's shot got Guerin Catholic out of position, and Ian Bowles capitalized.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see the statistics on this third period, the number of second opportunities that the Wildcats have been able to get. A stat that they didn't do a great job in the first half has finally got some numbers to it, and all of a sudden they're getting some second looks.
First free throw is up and good by Bowles. Just 2 for 9 coming into this season from the foul line is Bowles. Knocks the first one in.
If the Wildcats can just stay within striking distance and then put a little run together, they get right back in this thing.
Free throw is missed and run down by Sorensen. 43-26. Cherry into the paint, picked up his dribble, needs help, finds Chandler, and it's stolen away by Williams. Race to the other end, and Williams will lay it in.
There you go, little defense to offense.
Back to 15 as the third quarter winds down. South Bend Riley scrambling a little bit. Bowles deflects, and Hill is there to scoop up the loose ball for the Wildcats. Flings ahead to Baird through the lane. Too strong with it.
Another
Bowles offensive rebound. Had it knocked free. Cardinal able to save it to Melendez, and he's fouled.
You know, something that Guerin did such a great job in so far in this game is game decisions. They've made 2 not so good decisions here in the last 2 offensive possessions.
Well, after South Bend Riley hit those 2 threes in a 30-second span out of the timeout, and a nice hustle. Oh, nice hustle by Wright to poke it off the shoe of Cherry and out of bounds.
That's exactly what hustle will do for you.
What a play. He laid full out.
He did.
To knock that out and get the ball back for his team.
Hustle play gets him a possession.
Now a bucket here can make it a 12 or 13-point game as the third quarter winds down.
Could make it interesting.
Wildcats content to play for the final shot. 3 is hoisted up and no good. Rebounded by Hill, and his put back is too strong, and that'll do it. However, South Bend Riley plays Guerin Catholic to a 12-point draw in that third quarter, so the lead holds at 15, which is what it was at halftime. 43-28 our score. Final 8 minutes next from Memorial Gym in Kokomo. It's next on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is caught.
There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left. Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. That's the finish. You get a layup taken and an and one.
Now, alongside Jan Bozier, Rob Brown back with you at Memorial Gym in downtown Kokomo, Indiana. Vince Morellis, our director today. Aaron Siders handling the camera. It's our Iron Man crew.
You know, one of the stats that really sticks out to me is South Bend Riley had 9 turnovers in the first half. They had none in the third period. That's an excellent stat.
And the Wildcats shooting just 25% from the floor, but still hanging around. You alluded to it moments ago, Jan, as the third quarter was in its final stages. If you're South Bend Riley, the next run has to be yours.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can forget about getting a win in this last game of their tournament.
I thought they did some nice things with their defense, and they're laying it on the line right now.
In the corner, Cherry.
They got to get at least 2 or 3 points off their defense to get a run started.
Right up tight on Cherry. Cherry's in the lane and a foul called. Foul's on Wright. His first and the team's 5th. Each team with a couple fouls to give. South Bend Riley 1 to give. Guerin Catholic 2. Cherry baseline right. Into Sorensen. Bryson Cardinal handling the basketball out front, number 35. He leads all scorers with 13 points. Jalen Barbera. And attacking to the rim is Ty Sanderson scoring for Guerin Catholic.
Yeah, and he went straight at it, didn't hesitate, got up high above the rim. Really nice drive.
Barbera leads South Bend Riley. He's on the bench right now as Williams puts up the three. Rebound scramble for Ian Bowles had it. And we've got a timeout called by Bobby Allen.
Good decision. Good decision.
Bryson Cardinal went to the deck. Guerin Catholic calls a 30-second timeout. We'll stay here.
Yep, wanted to save a possession. Good decision. He had nowhere to throw the ball, so good job on his part.
Well, they had 4 timeouts, so
got to use them anyway.
Plenty at your disposal. Can't take them home with you. 7:06 to go in this one. Guerin Catholic has never trailed. We had one tie early at 7-7. At 6 o'clock, we'll have the third-place game between Warren Central and Center Grove. That should be a good matchup. Looking forward to that.
I've not seen Center Grove. They got a really good shooter, I know. But I've seen Warren now a couple times, and Warren's just that scrappy ball club. They have everybody who participates. They're hard. They're hard to score against. It should be a really interesting battle.
Well, Center Grove lost the semifinal today to Kokomo on a tip-in at the buzzer. That's their only loss of the season, and the 9-0 start, got to 9-0 after Center Grove beat South Bend Riley last night, is the best start in school history. A little pressure in the backcourt applied by South Bend Riley out of the timeout. And Cherry gets it up the floor against Wright, flips it into traffic to Cardinal. The catch, had it knocked free, towing away. Hill poked it loose, and then Baird comes away with it. Baird weaving through the lane, had it poked off his shin by Cardinal, and then a foul at half court as Williams grabs Sorensen. Williams foul his second, the team 6. That's a free throw now in the NBA, the take foul.
Yeah.
Not at this level, however.
Well, I think that, it looked like for a little while that the Wildcats were maybe going to get a little close, and Guerin kind of collected themselves and have executed in the half court again.
Moran's playing with 4 fouls, tried to find Cardinal on the high-low, but it's thrown away. Good hands by Hill. Hill gets it back to the basket, spinning, he got the roll. What an attack by Manny Hill to get to the rim.
And Hill's that guy that when he's flying towards the rim, he's effective. Really nice cut on his part.
Well, if you're South Bend Riley, you'd like to see him get out and transition a little bit more.
You want to see him any way you can get the ball in his hands, Rob. I think you need to do that.
Cherry fouled on his way to the rim. That's the 7th foul. The question is, does Shane McConaughey have the shooting foul? He does. Ian Bowles foul his first. Excuse me, James.
No, you're fine. You've seen those guys through the years that are so athletic. You've got to find ways, different types of ways to get them the ball because they can just do so many things. I think he's that guy.
Only a junior is Hill. He's their 3rd leading scorer at 9 a game.
But don't you feel like he's got some more points in him?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
He's a 9-10. He could be a 15-16 guy, and if they can get that out of him, that's really going to help their offense.
Yeah, the number of the frequency with which he gets into the lane. Yeah, you think
agree.
It wouldn't be much for him to get to double figures.
I agree.
Cherry knocks down both free throws. Guerin Catholic 9 of 11 from the line, a 7-point advantage from the foul line, and a 17-point advantage on the scoreboard with 6 minutes to go. Handoff to Hill from right. Baird facing up at the arc. Baird off a screen, catch and shoot 3 off the back of the rim. Cherry's got another rebound.
Well, from the opening tip-off, Guerin has set the tempo, controlled the tempo, and it's really never changed much.
That's Cherry's 9th rebound as a point guard. At the other end, he handles. Out top to Sorensen. Chandler off a screen in no hurry to shoot. With the Golden Eagles up 17. Chandler spins into the lane. Leaves to Morans for a foul line jumper, and Morans has just fouled out of the game as Wright beat him to the basketball. 5th foul on Morans, just the 6th on the Golden Eagles, so non-shooting situation. But Morans is finished for the afternoon with 5 points. And Bryson Cardinal returns.
Morans a good-looking junior, 6'7". Just a tad under 10 points a game. He's got some more upside to him.
Lucas Parker, the only senior starter for this Guerin Catholic team, as Ty Sanders returns for the Golden Eagles. Baird cut off. Hill picked up by Sanders on a switch. Hill's reverse layup is no good, and Chandler with a nice rebound in traffic. And he's fouled in the deep backcourt. Mike Daly has the foul on Ian Bowles. His second and the team 8th. So 1-1 for Kamea Chandler. Chandler, 68% free throw shooter on the season. First one up, in. At 25 points in the season opener against Park Tudor. Back to an 18-point advantage. South Bend Riley on 2 occasions, Jan, in that third quarter was able to get it down to 15.
Yeah.
But that's been as close as the Wildcats have been able to get.
Yeah, that's a testimony to Guerin, just staying with what they do. Being super efficient.
Wright drove into traffic, put a shot up. Rebound is put up short by Baird. He's fouled.
Baird's played a nice ball game. You know, he's another one of the super sophomores and likes to play just about anywhere. He's been battling, I think, better inside the second half.
Tallest player in the roster at 6'5", he's got good length. Cardinals foul his second. Baird fouled in the act of shooting, so he'll tee it up twice. And the first one kicks up and in. South Bend Riley returns to action on Thursday when they take on Elkhart at home. I have to keep reminding myself there's only one Elkhart now, and there's not 2.
No.
I keep thinking I made an error and left off the Memorial or the Central, but there's just one now.
There is.
Baird hits them both.
Yeah, you know, hopefully he'll do some things for that town. You know, they'll be able to, with the consolidation, be able to get some, you know, more competitive.
Cardinal catches. Now playing keep away a little bit to run some clock down. And we mentioned that last trip down, Jan, that as Chandler works in the paint, then peels it out and then throws it away.
You know, you talk about consolidations. I can remember, I'm sure you remember this too, there was a Seconds of High School here, Hayworth.
I was just talking with their
Hayworth
SID.
Huskies, yeah.
I was talking with the SID here, Dean Hockney, when I got here this afternoon, and he talked about how he was one of the, he is of an age where he attended both.
Right.
Attended one, and then when they closed Hayworth, he came over here.
Well, Hayworth is now the Kokomo High School.
Right.
Yeah.
Chandler with the steal, races to the other end and lays it in. 51-32. You mentioned Guerin Catholic been able to keep this team at arm's length in South Bend Riley as Hill steps into an open three that's short.
Front of the rim.
Rebounded by Cardinal. Other than that, steal and score by Chandler, most every Guerin Catholic possession has been 25 seconds plus.
Well, I'd like to see that again. Did he get both?
I'm not sure he got, you've got to get both feet in the ball.
All 3 pieces, you're exactly right.
Over the timeline.
I don't think he did.
And I'm not sure Sorensen's back foot was over.
You're 1,000% correct.
The half-court stripe.
It's a quick look because, once again, you got to be watching feet and ball, and if you didn't see it, but it's a tough call. But a lot of people don't understand over and back. He should. I think he does.
Wright picked up his dribble in a bad spot. Kyle Shadoa is in the game.
Fans don't understand that call. Not very much.
No. That and over the back are the two that get yelled from the stands the most. Chandler racing to the other end with the rebound. And now the Golden Eagles play keep away. Run some clock with 3:15 to go. Some new faces heading to the table for South Bend Riley as this one winds down. Sanders holds. In the lane, picked up his dribble. Back out to Chandler. Two players for each team waiting at the scorers table to step in. Sorensen back with it. And we got a foul away from the play.
That's just silly.
Bowles knocked Cardinal down.
They're battling, and he just shoved him. Don't need to do that.
So Cardinal shoots a 1-1. Today's game is brought to us by Dan Thompson of Thompson Wealth Management and the Wealth Management Group of RBC. Financial security begins by building a plan you can trust. Dan and his team provide custom advice for your individual needs and goals. No matter where you are in life, you can depend on their independence and expertise. Call Dan Thompson today at 317-810-5414 or visit thompsonwmg.com to set up your complimentary consultation. Andy Guerin has come on for Guerin Catholic, as has Ben Grissom returning. Bryson Cardinal shoots a 1-1 here, as that's team foul 9 on South Bend Riley. First one on the way, too strong. Rebound run down in the corner by Chandler. He beat Martravian Johnson to the basketball, number 20, who's just into the game.
You just don't see a lot of bad decisions made by Guerin. They rarely make a forced opportunity. They really let the game come to them.
Chandler backs it out. Number 2 in white, Shamar Jackson is also on, 6'2" senior. He's committed to play football at Manchester. 2:15 left. All that's left on this one is to settle up the final score. In the paint, and 3 seconds. Shadoa got caught in the lane. Now Josh Holba steps on.
Good debut for the sophomore. Thought he played really well.
Yep, Bryson Cardinal checks out with 13 points in his second varsity start. Both of them have come today.
Yep.
This is a day I'm guessing he'll remember for a long time.
He, his parents, and Guerin, because look out. Future is bright for sure.
Josh Holba, number 13, is in, as is Malcolm Howes. So all available Guerin Catholic substitutes have stepped into the game. Actually, Ryan Zimmerman has not. He was in the book, but he's not available tonight.
Man, we got a couple of really good games coming up. I'm excited.
Center Grove and Warren Central, as Grissom puts up the 3 and knocks it in. Ben Grissom's third 3 of the season. And it's 54-32. Bowles into the lane against Holba, killed his dribble. Well, at the top of the hour, we'll have 9-1 Center Grove against 6-4 Warren Central. Bowles spinning, lost the handle, and a foul called, I believe, on Holba. Yep, Holba takes the foul. Guerin Catholic's over the limit.
Well, things are not going to get any easier for Guerin. They play pretty quickly on January the 3rd. And Lebanon, a really good ball club this year.
Lebanon is very good.
Yes, sir. That's home at Guerin. South Bend Riley will, let's see where they'll be. It looks like they will be at Elkhart.
They're playing Elkhart.
You talked about that.
Playing the host in Elkhart. Bowles hits the front end. That foul went to Shadoa, number 24, not Holba. Bowles with 2 points off the bench, both coming from the line.
And I think it's, and Guerin, you know, they don't talk about who they play next, but they know they're going to have a tough one, 11. So really wanted to end this thing on a really good note, and I think they have.
I think there's such a difference in how you feel about your team going into the new year when you go 2-1 this weekend versus 1-2.
Completely agree.
Grissom almost turned it over, but able to find Shadoa down the baseline. And he lost the handle. It went off his foot, yes. Back to South Bend Riley, inside a minute to go. Well, when the game concludes, we'll break for a couple minutes, and we'll have the postgame show wrap this one up. Included in our duties, we'll be handing out the player of the game, brought to us by Dan Thompson of Thompson Wealth Management. All that upcoming.
We've mentioned a couple times, Rob, that this future for this South Bend Riley team is huge. They got a lot of really, I mean, it's one thing to have young people, but they got some really talented young people.
Right, with a jitterbug drive to the basket, draws a foul. Between Wright and Schindler and Barbera, those are 3 sophomore guards, and all 3 possess above average quickness.
They get a little stronger,
a
little more ball IQ as they, you know, get experience. They're going to be solid. Watch this ball club in the next couple of years, guys. I think it's going to be solid.
Wright hits the first free throw. 35 and 9/10 seconds to go. 54-35 our score.
Sometimes you got to go through those growing pains when you go young, but it's the right thing to do.
Second one up, good.
They were 11 and 12 last year.
54-36. Pass ahead to Grissom. Williams almost got a steal, and you heard him yell. Shadoa works through the lane. Howes with it. Back to Shadoa, 15 seconds to go.
Isn't it ironic that Guerin averages about 54 points per game? And
Look up at the scoreboard.
There they are.
54.
They do what they do.
And all 3 games for Guerin Catholic in this tournament holding the opposition under 42 points.
That's what they do. This team will go as far as their defense carries them.
You're going to win a lot of games doing that.
Yes, sir.
One more inbound to execute. Holba down the baseline. He'll hold it and wait for the horn.
That'll do it.
And that'll do it. Guerin Catholic jumps out early and stays in front to defeat South Bend Riley 54-36 in our 5th place game here in the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. We'll take a break. We'll step out. When we come back, we'll have the post-game show. We'll run down the final totals. We'll hand out our player of the game and look ahead to game 2 of 3. All that coming up next on the IHSAA Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa. My goodness.
122-60 for Penn.
Oh, what a swim! 6 of them.
Rob Brown, Jan Bozier back with you at Memorial Gym in Kokomo, Indiana. This 3rd annual Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. 5th place game just concluded, and Guerin Catholic jumping out in front with a 11-2 run to close out the first quarter. Never looked back, defeating South Bend Riley 54-36. South Bend Riley led in scoring by Jalen Barbera. He had 12 points, 2 in double figures for Guerin Catholic. Robert Sorensen, their leading scorer coming in, had 11. And our player of the game, Bryson Cardinal, the sophomore, in just his 2nd varsity start, he had 13 points and 7 rebounds. He was fantastic today, James.
Boy, he did, and obviously a lot of energy with the first start. And you can do energy different ways. You can cause turnovers. You can not play well, but man, if you didn't tell me he hadn't started, Rob, I would have never known because the young man just came and took it to the hoop.
Well, here's some highlights of Bryson Cardinal and some highlights as well of his teammate Lucas Parker. But Cardinal was around the rim. He had 4 of his 7 offensive rebounds were on the offensive end, and just really effective for the sophomore who, again, got his first varsity start this morning as he banked in a 35-footer to close out the first quarter. He got his first start this morning against Columbia City in that 14-point win, then capped it off today. Player of the game brought to us by Dan Thompson of Thompson Wealth Management. Financial advice that is custom and financial advice you can trust. Dan Thompson of Thompson Wealth Management. Jansen, final thoughts on our game 1 of 3 this afternoon.
Well, clearly this was one with defense. You look up the scoreboard, and just to give up 36, and they just do their offense. You know, they get 43% from the field. They shot 50%, only took 6 threes, made half of them, and then 11 for 14. Very efficient offensively, very, very solid defense. That's how you win ball games.
Guerin Catholic improves to 6-4 with the win. They've won 3 in a row. South Bend Riley drops to 6-6. That'll about do it for our 5th place game. We're going to step away and be back with you right about the top of the hour at 6 o'clock as we've got Center Grove taking on Warren Central in the 3rd place game. But for now, on behalf of our director, Vince Morellis, our cameraman, Aaron Siders, my partner, Jan Bozier, I'm Rob Brown. Till we talk to you again at 6 o'clock, on behalf of our entire IHSAA Sports Network crew, it's Rob Brown saying so long, everybody.
Shot at the buzzer. She got it! Oh, my goodness, what a shot!
Hello.
Did it again.
Hello.
Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow. This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
after that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is caught.
There you
oh,
go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!